Hello and welcome back to another episode of Kerbal Space Program, everyone. We are back at Kerbin at the Kerbal Space Center and trying to decide on where to head next. Now, we landed on the moon. It didn't go quite as planned, just like the past probably 3 or 4 missions for us. But this is the moment we turn things around because I hope that's the case. What I want to do this episode is actually kind of clean up some Minmus activities. Explore Minmus, walk on the surface, dock 2 vessels, run around. Okay, rendezvous. Yep, cool. And so you can see we have the surveys for the temperature data at Minmus to do still. The flag at Minmus, we got to plant one. Repair a satellite in orbit around Kerbin, that's just kind of for money. Bring green sandstone back from Minmus, and then do the standard land, dock 2 vessels, rendezvous, kind of 2 vessels. So the thing that we're going to use to do this is the latest and greatest rocket, I think. So if we take a look at the Skippy Shuttle MK5, not this one. Is it this one? Which one had it? I might have not saved it. Okay, well, good to know. What I want to use is this lander did not work out too well when it came to the moon. However, this should work just fine for Minmus. So we start this retracted, and we can grab this, flip it upside down. Awesome. And attach a awesome command pod to it. We can be well on our way very quickly here. So nice Lampatron, just like that. And I need to put it to where I can bring 2 people. So we will need an MK2 command pod. But we could do this with a single person, but the MK2 is the correct kind of diameter anyways. So that's what we will use. And then for this, let's go ahead, get some struts here, just to help hold this thing in place. Actually gonna do it from here to here. There we go. We don't need all that extra wobbling that could potentially happen. So we're gonna strut that thing up nice and taut. And inside the command pod, we're going to bring a drow chute. And also, I guess maybe 2 actual parachutes would be kind of handy. Okay, grab those. And we will just throw them till they're mostly embedded into the surface. I think that one works quite as well, but okay. So we got parachutes left and right side and our main 1 drow chute. Very lovely. And all the science we'll just bring back via the command module. Nothing too crazy there. If I go to our science area, do we have any more science equipment? We don't just yet. All right, so that's fine. Just grab some heat shielding. There we go. So this is the only thing going to be returning. Everything else, the upper stage here, or this lower stage, is going to stay on the surface of Minmus. This stage will return to dock back up to here, and from there should be good to go. I hope. Communication. I might put a high gain antenna on command module here to see if we can't get these 2 connect, because I would like to send our scientists down to the surface to actually get some work done. And I'm pretty sure if we have the communication between here and here directly, the pilot in this command module can steer this down. I'm not 100% sure on that, but we'll find out. At the very least, we'll give it a solid effort to see if that works. When it comes to science, though, are deployables. Cargo, yes. All right, here we go. So we are going to need a couple things here. We're going to bring a solar panel kit, a experimental control station, GOB OED monitor, and on the other side, oh man, we're doubling it up. Not really what I wanted to do. Okay, so let's see, what do we got? We got this, that, and over here, we just need the weather analysis. And how much? I think we need actually maybe another solar and another solar array here. And inside this little station, we'll bring a little EVA experiment kit with us too. So there you have it. Let's go to vacuum, see how much delta V. Oh man, these things are kind of heavy, aren't they? 668 on landing. Oh, it's this. This is heavy too. So if I just pop that off, yeah. I think that'll be fine for everything here. Okay, so beneath this, we'll get a couple ring, T18 size, and we need to get a payload fairing going up to encapsulate our craft. All right, something like that's fine. I'm gonna reroute to the main area there. Crew-wise, we're going to bring Valentina as the pilot. We're gonna bring Bob, the main scientist, along with us. Actually, no, I'm gonna switch Valentina out for Samantha. Yeah, Samantha can go on this one. She needs some more experience heading out that way. Fuel-wise, we'll just slap something on here, something like maybe that, onto the command station. And engines, don't think the Poodle is really what I want there. 310 vacuum versus this at 320. Do I have a more efficient kind of engine? I don't think we do. I mean, the Poodle's great, but maybe I can get away with an engine plate. Where is engine plate at? There we go. So this is going to have attachment nodes, just a triple. And then we will carry 3 sparks with us. Kind of like that. And then this one, we need a decoupling ring, size 18 there. Get this variant all the way down as small as possible. Awesome. So we'll see if that's enough for the command module. I hope so. You kind of never know with these things. Electrical charge, I'm just gonna throw a couple panels beneath the hatch there, just so we don't lose power. Okay, get all that. That's fine. And then from here, we're going to be talking about probably we might need more of a intermediate stage than I thought. If I do that and that, then engines wise, we'll throw a Bobcat on there to help get us up a little bit higher. And now we can talk about the main stage, which will widen out to the full size and build this little section. And yes, am I over-engineering this again? Most likely. That is kind of commonplace for us at this point on the channel. I kind of want that in the middle, that, and then this. And then engines-wise, I guess we can use Skipper. On that. Okay, and boom. Get that nice orange kind of look at the bottom. Huh, that was like a silver fairing. We'll go with that. Okay, and now we just need some boosters onto it to help with the main lift of the body. And I suppose some standard coupling are needed for this. Now we could use the kickback solid boosters. They have done us fairly well in the past. We can also try these Pollux solid boosters. They provide a whole bunch of thrust, which I'd be fine with trying. I think that's a fairly decent looking rocket here. I am going to throw a couple small control surfaces on this. Just to help stabilize it in flight. I'm gonna need all four directions initially, probably. Alright, boom. Separate. This engine goes. Separate this engine. Goes there. These three next. At that separation. Think about then is when we'll open up the cover. Separate. But, that's that. What is this? It's an engine plate. I guess they come with their own Sepatron of some kind. Which I kind of don't want to accidentally hit here. gonna throw this near the top. And then this one also near the top. These two will probably stay. Okay, let's get our drone chute on its own group. Boom, boom. Okay, and I think that should work. I say should, but you kind of never know till you fly the thing. Right. Let's get some struts up to there, maybe. Some more supportive material to help out with the wobbling that is bound to happen on these things. And we'll call this pretty good. I think we're able to get that to Minmus. Okay, Minmus lifter MK1. We're gonna give this a save. Make sure our crew is good to go. Crew is good to go. Let us leave this. Make sure we are in position for Minmus here. This is the damaged satellite that we're about to get to eventually. Alright, so we are... There's that. So I think we have learned that the Minmus launch window probably just not quite the same as the moon by any means because of the difference, but I don't think it's quite 90 degrees. I'm gonna go more like 20 degrees or something like that. Okay, well that's 90 again. I really wish there was a better way to time warp. Okay. So we are around and we should be good to go. Let's head back to the facility, which apparently is in the water. That's fine, normal. Normal. All right, so we're taking Samantha and Bob on this mission. We're gonna get ready to launch, and hopefully this thing works out. Okay, so it's a night launch. You guys can probably notice that I turned up the lighting at nighttime because it was just a little, it wasn't very good. So I decided to turn it up a little bit so that you guys can see hopefully a little bit better while it's nighttime. We're gonna go out here. We're going to go ahead and set Minmus as our target. And it's right there. It's that white little dot. You guys probably can't even see. So here we go. I hope this thing can fly. Oh, it's somewhat flying. Let's activate the main engine too. We were losing control of the vessel kind of early, really quickly there. So I'm gonna need its gimbal to help lift us, keep us in control. Oh boy, we are really wanting to list a bit here. Trying to get this thing to go back to 90. We are getting a decent amount of pressure on the capsule. Already 16,000 meters. Let's start rolling over here. Get rid of that. I think if I roll this way, should have enough control to make a decent attempt here. Our speed is going down, but that's not awful. Our Apple Apps is actually already at like 70,000 kilometers. So I'm just gonna try and get it sideways a lot more. As much as we can on this stage. Orbit is definitely high. Definitely a little high. So I'm going to trade height by pointing downwards for more speed. And I want to look at my nodes here, see if I can't correct for angle while I'm doing this. More speed, more speed. Okay, angle is going poorly now. Let's try a opposite correction. Apple Apps is 87,000. We are not going super quick, are we? Hopefully we didn't make a rocket too heavy to get anywhere. Burn. There's a lot of dead weight in this tank as it winds down here. Coming around to orbit, alright. And camera rotation happened. Periaps is now good. Okay. And we'll try this Bobcat engine. Gonna burn pure pro grade. I actually think our launch window was even worse than normal. I think I screwed that up a little bit, but that's okay. We can we get plenty of fuel in the engines. We got time to adjust things around, move it a bit. All right, let's take a look at this node here. Okay, we got a Minmus. Okay, well that's way out there, isn't it? Bring that back. Let's bring that back and try and swing it this way a little bit more. Bring that back. Yeah, I did not do a very good launch window. Okay, what do we got here? Ooh. Come on. Okay, I think I should focus on one thing at a time. I don't want to try and do too much in one maneuver. Alright. I think that's fine. So 188 meters a second. We will adjust our course. And be good to go. No T minus 2 minutes. Alright, we'll speed up time. To about close to the launch window. Let this burn. Throttle up. And I want this to be kind of exact as possible. So that there's no wiggle room in our perceived orbit. What do we got? And a little bit of a wiggle. Alright, let's warp out a little ways. Along. Should help stabilize that. To come out, we're shooting out past Minmus, letting it catch up, because again, that's how bad of a launch window that I decided to use. So about here is when we're going to intersect a bit with it. Okay, got an intersect. Point retrograde. Where is it? There it is. There's Minmus. Awesome. So now we just need to slow down and get captured by Minmus. I'm gonna get that periaps pretty low, like 70,000 meters. 40,000. Now guess I'm gonna go ahead and deploy our productive shell. Lovely. Turn on the lights. And we will warp to Periaps. And we'll try to circularize and also bring it a little bit less of a crazy orbit here. Okay. Let's point in the right direction. It's just another 2-second burn, which we have just enough fuel for. On this stage. All right, 39, 40. That's a pretty decent orbit. It's not as extreme, so that's going to work for us. So I'm going to go ahead and, I guess, stage. Here. Let me fling that out. Okay. We'll go ahead and get pointed to the north. I like keeping my vehicles kind of northernly oriented while they're in orbit. Makes them a little bit more easy to dock with, if that's the case. And then also, because of our solar panels and its orientation, you know, I'm not going to get like turned around and kind of not have access to some of these. So that is good there. I'm going to see here, extend antenna. Extend antenna. Okay. Bob. So we're going to transfer crew up to the lander. So that's where he is now. And we will do an undocking. Switch vessels here. Beautiful rotation away. Now, Bob is going to have to land this manually. He does not have the advantage of SAS, but luckily Minmus is a little bit more forgiving in that regard. I'm going to go ahead and activate our engines. Going to point up a little bit. Some separation for the command module. Awesome. And we will go ahead and go retrograde. Here. It's gonna be... Okay, this is actually a little tough since my thrust isn't exactly on center there. All right, and we're gonna land. I need to land in these lowlands, I think. Okay. Just like that, we're tumbling now. Going to preemptively deploy the landing gear. Check our electrical charge. It's not great, but luckily I can turn off the lights. And we will fall down towards Minmus. Alright, about there is pretty good. You guys can probably hear me tapping away at my keyboard, just trying to maintain some semblance of a stable flight. And I'm trying to burn beneath my retrograde marker so that it pushes this thing a little bit more vertical. Because if I don't have to worry so much about verticality, that would be ideal. In my little descent module here. Luckily, Bob, is an experienced scientist. He knows how flight works. All right, minor corrections are basically complete. We are now basically commencing with final descent. Boy, this is awkward. Hand flying this thing in here like this. It wants to rotate for some reason. I'm not sure why it wants to do that. If that rotational movement wasn't there, this wouldn't be nearly as hard to control. Okay. Kill the rotation. Try and point vertical here. Okay, we'll still have a ways to go because we were in orbit mode, so it just kind of updated. Have to recalibrate. There we go. All right, good. Still got plenty of electrical charge. Plenty of it. Amount of concentration this is taking is a little obscene. Because any and all kind of lateral movement is going to be not great to try and control with. All right, do we see our own shadow yet? We do not. However, I see kind of like a location I would like to go to. I kind of want to land on the shores over here a bit, if that's possible. Because there's some rocks that I wouldn't mind trying to get a little bit of an EVA sample from. Bob is letting his scientific fervor guide him now. Flip around. Now we are good, I think, for a full stop. I think this is close enough. This area. There's Kerbin in the background. There's our shadow. Don't really need it. This thing has enough acceleration to kind of come down pretty quickly. I'm just babying it in since we don't have the SCA capabilities right now. The small rotation. Bob returns to Kerbin. Or Minmus, I guess in this case. This solo landing onto the surface. And there you have it. We are down. We're going to go ahead and extend the solar panels. Gonna take a crew report. We will EVA. Bloop. Not EVA. We're gonna switch our parachute. We don't need a parachute on us. And just like that, we're on the surface. All right, EVA report. Very good. We'll plant a flag for mission accomplished. And it kept going. All right, now we're going to use the awesome power of EVA science to take the inaugural shot on Bob's golf course. And it kept going. Definitely kept going with the low gravity. 125. As the ball arcs off in the distance, you observe the ballet of physics between the applied impulse of the bodies of gravity. Our scientists will rejoice in the results and hopefully agree that the 6-iron was a great club selection. We definitely agree with that. I'll take a surface sample. And now, let's go see if we can't get any of these rocks for one of our missions away from our little lander. This will hopefully give us a decent amount of science. Minmus always does. Bob's just super happy. He's basically flying right now. Feeling very happy, content with his decision to come back to the surface of Minmus and not be stranded. Okay. Okay, we are inside This rock, that might just be surface scattering, to be honest. So this rock might be better over here. This one seems to be less of just the surface scattering noise in the background and something maybe collectible, like the moonstones. Nope. Green sandstone. Acquired. 150 science. Salt flats, despite the low gravity and lack of atmosphere, these old rocks provide numerous clues. Also, they have sprinkles. Alright. Let's return. Quickly jet over to the module here. Kerbin still silhouetted off in the distance by the galaxy plane. Also, you can see the moon up here. It's that little dot. And we'll store all this into the lander module. MK1. Finally having its first proper touchdown. And keeping all of its legs on. Much rejoicing happening here. Okay, so let's go ahead and set up a few things. This thing is very heavy, it seems. Huh. How heavy is this one? That's very heavy too. Can I get any of these off that aren't too heavy? Yes. Okay, there we go. So we'll just take the little jetpack off for now. Alrighty. This is a deployed science experiment that we can deploy here, I think. So this is a goo science experiment module for the surface. So we're gonna deploy that down. There we go. Let's give it some power potentially. This is the command station, I believe. Science control unit. And this thing has a little radar dish to actually send the science up to either your satellite network or directly to Kerbin if you have the range. Okay, good. That's deployed. That's deployed. And I think there is this, which is a what is this? A weather analyzer? So I guess we don't care about that. Since this planet doesn't really have any weather. Okay. Two. Am I short on power? Might be. Okay. So 3 solar panels, 2 to power the experimental control station, and 1 to hopefully power this. Okay, we are getting 0.632825p/hour of science. So for example, if we just speed up time, it should tick over. In fact, I'm just gonna warp to, whoa! I'm gonna warp to sunrise real quick. My ship kind of jumps. Science completed 1.89%. Okay. Okay. So once it's completed some science is when it will actually send it, I think. Yeah, I think so. Cool. So we have our little science modules set up. Bob is happy as he can be. He's going to redon his parachute and EVA pack. Quickly pop up here and board. Almost flipped the vessel. Turn on some lights. It's a lovely little base here. And now we just need to re-rendezvous back up to the shuttle. So I'm gonna toggle these engines off. Preemptively throttle up to about 1/4. And here we go. Okay, well, I guess I'm bringing the whole thing with me. I guess I restaged. And they're coming with us. Oh, whoa, this is awkward. Hold on. Hold on. This is like the worst ascent ever. Oh god, Bob's gonna get sick. All right, so about here, we're gonna add a maneuver. We're gonna rotate. That is a pretty good little adjustment, I think. If we could just pull this back a bit. All right. Good. So now, it's a 6-second burn time once we're there. We're leaving the experimental planes behind us. Really gonna have to design a labor that, like a lander that doesn't just auto rotate like that. It's making it a little difficult. Just a bit. And about like that. All right. So we got our first nice encounter with this thing. We'll warp over to it. Another just 2-second burn. That we can hopefully do without screwing it too much up with our rotational issues. And you know what? I think that's probably the best we're gonna get. I have the feeling. Let's see if maybe a slight decrease kind of helps us there. And then maybe a burn to the target. I think that's fine. We're going to go ahead and warp ahead, coming from under and behind our target here. At least our control station is marked, which is pretty good. All right, now we will kill. Oh, shoot. How'd we lose power? Okay, that's fine. We got solar panels for that. We got 2 of them. There we go. All right. Probably because I left my lights on. All right, so if I decrease our speed relative to our target now. Match speed, match speed, match speed. All right. And then if I burn at our target, that prograde marker right on that dot. Say burn about 7 meters a second. We will slowly but surely meet up about here. In fact, there it is. It's right down there beneath us. And now we just burn and slow down. Do the same thing again when we are ready. getting there, getting there. At a nice 5 meters a second. And for our mission to complete, I do need to dock this vessel. However, I might switch pilot and engineer around, as that might be a bit easier for us to work with. So we're gonna go ahead, get Bob out. Gonna take all this data. And he's going into the main spacecraft. Board. Samantha, you're gonna go on your first EVA. Beautiful. And you're gonna change over here. I'm gonna dock the lander onto that nose. Alright, SAS has been enabled. We're gonna set the Clampetron as our target. We are then going to set our control point as our Clampetron. Now I'm gonna point at it. However, I want to point above it. And we will kind of cruise over in a line retrograde of target. Then gave it just a pep too much energy there. All right, now I need to translate this towards our target, just like that. And this should, I say should, connect. All right, there we go. So we will transfer our crew back into there. Retract our solar panels, as we will not need them now. And let's see, what other things? We've walked on the surface of Minmus. That's great. Rendezvous. This should have counted. Attach 2 different vessels together near Minmus with a docking port or a claw to achieve this goal. I feel like I did that. That is a little disappointing that this didn't count, but I guess because this being a lander on this, maybe it doesn't, but oh well. We don't have time. We don't have time. We'll just head on back. We got science. We set up our little station thing. What more could you want, you know? I need to actually turn these off. And we fly away from Minmus. Point retrograde here. Try to get our periaps down. here to intersect with the moon, which is not ideal. Like at all. So let's see if we can't get this to peel away from the moon by going below it. There we go. Kerbal periaps 50,000. Go back to our retrograde. A nice 34,000 meter re-entry on its way. We will retract our antenna, turn off our lights, warp down to Kerbal. Oh, good. We successfully transmitted our first bit of science from Minmus. 22 whole science. Another 20. Okay, I guess we went around once. Oops, I clicked poorly. But that's fine. We're just, okay. Research development is going pretty well. Okay, here we go. Now we're ready for our re-entry. Get our decouple here. Retrograde. And hope we don't slam into that thing. Oh, starting to break apart. Yep. A little bit of a hot entry for that little lander. Awesome. Through the atmosphere. Parachutes out. Other parachutes are out. Jettison our heat shield. Almost die from it. Would have been a great mission end. A very Kerbal ending to a flight. You get home just to smack yourself in the face and die. And that thing is bucking it to the ground. It's dead now. Okay. Now we have just a nice little relaxing landing left. Spin that up. I think the next thing that we want to do is start working on our communication satellites arrays, because we're going to have to start getting some bases, and those are going to have to send science back to Kerbal, kind of automatically, and we're going to need some communication set up so that we can do so efficiently. But hey, we're back. We landed. We brought home all of our science. How much science are we at, you ask? We're at 715 total science. We're almost back up to 1 million total credits. Which means I'm going to go ahead and actually upgrade the tracking station. It's fully upgraded. We have unlocked the maneuver tool. Or something like that, right? Isn't there like some sort of maneuver thing there that we have unlocked now? I don't know. Anyways, let's go to the R&D research. We're going to get heavier rocketry. That's a given. We're going to get specialized advanced exploration, probably. So we can get some service ladders. We can get a scanning arm, which might coincide with some satellites early. Command modules. This is how we can get the actual MEM lunar lander can, or the MK2 lunar lander can, but I'm going to hold off on that. Let's see what our other choices are. Heavier landing struts, a large parachute. I'm going to skip planes for a little bit. Grabbing units, pistons, hinges, servos, specialized construction for a proper docking port, grip pads, a larger engine plate. Got adapters, some fuel tanks, and then precision propulsion. Let's get precision propulsion, and then, you know what? I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for the command modules. So a decent amount of little upgrades there. I think we're finally getting into some very good areas for our space program here. Definitely, finally a good mission for us. With that, this episode is over. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you guys are enjoying the content. These long-form Kerbal videos are coming to an end. We're going to go into a little bit more of a speed build sort of functionality with just overview across the whole mission, because that, I think, is just going to be better than me trying to real-time explain everything. So, look forward to that. And with that, if you guys enjoy the stuff, feel free to subscribe, and we'll see you all in the next episode.